now deserves a thank you and indeed a congratulations to all of the stakeholders that have made this possible here this morning to show support for the Bridge to Work program. It is certainly so inspiring to see a combination of government, commercial enterprises, and local communities coming together to better the lives of people and inspire change and equality in our beautiful, beautiful country. Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is the Honorable Premier of Mpumalanga, Premier Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsane, to address the audience and of course introduce the Honorable Minister who has taken the time to join us today. So, I will hand over to the MEC of Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs, Ms. Shiba, to introduce the Premier and to follow the protocol that is associated with that. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please welcome Ms. Shiba onto stage.
Director, for the opportunity. Maybe we just got it mixed up. I am supposed to introduce the minister who's our guest speaker today. Now, let me start off by passing my greetings to the Minister of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development, Umage Didiza, the members of the Executive Council in the province of Mpumalanga who are in our midst, members of provincial and local houses led by the chairperson of the Mpumalanga House of Traditional Leaders, Charlotte Mokoena, who's not here with us, but however represented by Abunda Bezita, bakhona lana endaweni sithi bonda bezitha siyambingelela nani. May I also take this opportunity and greet the acting executive mayor of Garsibande district, uKhansela Muthelezi, in our midst, and of course our host executive mayor Ubaba Unhlakanipho Zuma, who's also here with us, all councillors in our midst, the leadership of Sasol being led by Mama Wetu Umaye Charlotte, who's always with us, and thank you once again for inviting us to Sasol. And all the dignitaries who are in our midst, and we do have an HOD for the Department of Agriculture who's here with us. Sanbonani Lochani. Agwande. Lochani. Togoze. Simandebele Tinagi Lanaga. For those of you who doesn't know, we speak Isindebele. Yeah. Program Director, it is an honor and a privilege to once again join the community of Secunda as we mark another significant milestone in our strategic partnership with Sasol for the benefit of the beautiful people of the province of the Rising Sun. As most of you are aware, the Mpumalanga provincial government entered into a groundbreaking Memorandum of Understanding with Sasol in 2019, which has resulted in Sasol investing significantly in initiatives that will deliver sustainable development for the benefit of our communities, not only here in Secunda, but across the length and breadth of our beautiful province. Minister Didiza, I am proud to inform you that the last 3 years of our collaboration with Sasol, we have provided, Sasol has actually provided us with practical testament of the fact that the sustainable development of our communities is only possible through collaboration of government at all spheres, the private sector, and the institution of traditional leadership in line with the ideals of the district development model, which has been championed by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Africa. In essence, Honorable Minister, Sasol has become part and parcel of the communities within which it operates across the province. Program Director, embedded with Ubuntu values, Sasol has partnered with the provincial government in the supply of COVID-19 protective material and worked beyond the call of duty to support our education initiatives through the provision of mobile science facilities to teach learners at the height of COVID-19. Hence today, we are seeing yet another initiative that they have undertaken to make sure that they assist our small-scale farmers within the localities so that they too grow up to be commercial farmers. What we have witnessed earlier on, Ma'am Charlotte, at a small scale in a form of starter pack, our wish is that we must upscale that and make sure that the land is made available for our farmers so that they can competitively be the producers that will be suppliers at the commercial scale. And I am sure that is possible. That is our dream and that is our pride as Mpumalanga. As you have correctly indicated earlier on during your remarks, that as Mpumalanga, one of our key priority is agriculture, and we dare not fail our small-scale farmers in making sure that we uplift the production that they are making, and of course, to undermine the statistics that we have seen earlier on, which does not depict a good picture at all about the state of affairs within our country. And as in Mpumalanga, we strongly believe that this is our opportunity to contribute positively towards the economic mainstreaming of our country through agricultural produce. Hence, we have geared our systems to correctly respond, Minister, to what we envisage to achieve as the province of Mpumalanga. Hence, we have established the International Fresh Produce Market and the agri-hubs within our 3 district localities so that all the produce that are being produced within our small-scale farmers gets exported in a form of quality produce to other countries so that we contribute to the food basket of the other countries that have interest in what we are producing. Therefore, we cannot thank Sasol enough for such initiatives that sought to protect the lives of our learners whilst advancing the learning programs. COVID-19 has also exacerbated the socio-economic challenges we have been grappling with, which are in the main unemployment and poverty. We are currently hard at work to recalibrate the provincial economy in response to these unfavorable economic conditions. As we accelerate the implementation of the Mpumalanga Economic Reconstruction and Recovery Plan, we pin our hopes on partners like Sasol to render their unwavering support to our efforts to recalibrate the provincial economy. Program Director, the development of the MERRP was informed by the urgent need for the provincial fiscus to recover from the impact of COVID-19, as well as the commitment to decisively confront the triple challenges of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. With the worst of the COVID-19 pandemic behind us, we are now able to focus on driving the sustainable and inclusive economic recovery that must create more job opportunities. Indeed, The provincial government has continued to support the capacitation of the unemployed young people through a number of initiatives such as the incubation programs, youth development centers, artisan development training, and youth empowerment programs. We have invested in the Furniture Technology Incubator, which was established to train in young people in furniture manufacturing as well as upholstery and assist SMMEs to participate in the furniture manufacturing sector. Our young people are trained in small-scale furniture manufacturing and upholstery to increase their skills level in this sector to support the planned Forestry Industrial Technology Park. The province shall provide hundreds of working opportunities for unemployed young people through programs such as the National Youth Service, contractor development programs, the paving of township and municipal roads, and the social enterprise development program. Through the employment stimulus pillar of the MERRP, we will further intensify public employment programs such as the expanded public works program in order to create a large number of jobs in a shorter term and support increased procurement spend for women and youth. We have also established the Siastendela Road Maintenance Program, which has created thousands of work opportunities for poor local households. Program Director, the Bridge to Work program that we are launching today is timely. Its objectives of empowering the unemployed youth and women with skills to increase their overall chances of employment or successfully starting their own businesses fits perfectly with the MERRP. We commend Sasol for such an initiative, and we commit ourselves to support and work hand in hand with Sasol to ensure that all the initiatives that constitute the Bridge to Work program become models that will be replicated across the country. In the short to medium term, we will work closely with the IPEP program within the broader Bridge to Work initiative to create a well-equipped cohort of young small-scale farmers. This will eventually result in the provincial government and Sasol collaborating for the re-establishment of the Sasol Kroll Farmers Production Program as the Mpumalanga Agri-Mall, which shall provide emerging farmers with the market for their produce. Program Director, lest I abuse your indulgence and the time you have afforded me, allow me to introduce our keynote speaker. Minister Togo Didiza is one of the foremost advocates for the advancement and development of emerging farmers in our country. During the Labour Tenant Summit held in Pretoria earlier this year, Minister Didiza was at the forefront for the introduction of a participatory approach encompassing young people, especially women, government at all levels, as well as the institution for traditional leadership in developing our agricultural value chain. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request that we all rise to welcome Minister Togo Didiza as she makes her way to the podium. Over to you.
Thank you very much, our Premier of Mpumalanga Province, Magen Tweni Tsipandi. I'd also like to recognize our Program Director who is hidden behind the curtain. We can see he always emerges like he's going to give us a nice play, you know, or a music, as you always see in the theaters. people who come behind the curtains too. I'd like to recognize our MEC for Agriculture, Ms. Shiba, who's among us here, also with the HOD, Sasol Executive Vice President, Mam Charlotte Mokoena, Oguyena Osmemela, as well as with your managers, I'm sure they are here, and staff of Sasol, particularly who are in this space. Ngibingelele ukhosi kini nabondaba ezitha ngokwesihlalo zenu nonke enikhona. I also want to recognize our executive mayor and also local mayors who are here and councillors. To the principal and teachers of Buhle Farmers Academy, Babumtumbeni from Afasa African Farmers of South Africa, to the other partners who are here, NYDA, SASA, who is the other partner missing? SIDA, NYDA, I think I mentioned already, so that next time they don't say Minister didn't support the young people by mentioning us and then we will hold our money. Our senior officials of government who are here from the municipalities, province, as well as national. But most importantly, I want to recognize Osingaye, our graduates whom we celebrate today. It is indeed an honor and privilege to be amongst you today as we bring to a close the commemoration of Women's Month. We do so conscious that their struggle was not just about women, but was about the whole of society. If you were to look at the 1954 Women's Charter, which was drawn by the Federation of South African Women, they talk about the single society that they want, where both women and men live together. When they talk about the women's lot, they are conscious that our society needs all of us, and therefore they share in the pain that men experience. And it is for that reason, and it was for that reason, that women's struggle continue to care not only about women's empowerment, but about all of those who have been discriminated, whether they are women or men. Following the attainment of political freedom, which women fought for, as we celebrate the 1956 March on August 9, women understood that a new struggle will begin after attaining our political freedom. It is the journey of building a new nation. In this journey of transformation, it requires us to address enormous challenges that our society continues to face. That of poverty, unemployment, and underdevelopment. In building this new nation, we need to address the vexing challenge of inequality and exclusion from the economy of the majority. Clearly, such challenges cannot be addressed by government alone. It requires partnership which ensures collaboration within government, between government and social partners, particularly the private sector, labor, and our communities. In the midst of all of these challenges that have been bedeviling us, COVID-19 pandemic happened. It disrupted our economies and brought untold misery to all of us in different ways. We lost friends, we lost family members, our loved ones, but we also lost our livelihood as others lost employment, as companies had to close because they could not sustain their businesses. Collectively, as South Africans, even in the midst of these challenges, we weathered the storm. We responded as one people and answered through various means and became one another's keeper. We acted in solidarity, even in small corners where such might not have been realized. You would recall a number of contributions that we made as individuals and as companies to the Solidarity Fund. We'll also remember the work that was done by social development and a range of civil society organizations to ensure that whatever intervention that government had, we will add so that no one is left behind. It was during this challenge that South Africans made it possible that no one goes to bed without food. Our food security interventions and also the policy decisions of allowing agriculture to remain functional, albeit the lockdowns, help that our nation can have food, but not only in South Africa, also in the region, as we know that some of our food products are actually exported to the SADC region. By not closing borders and allowing food to move, we made sure that millions of our people in this region survived. This resilience showed that if we work together as a society, we can address whatever challenges that we face. Program Director, the effects of COVID pandemic still remain with us to this day. The global shocks to food system, as we've seen as a result of the Ukraine-Russia war, has seen us not being able to afford some of the food items as the prices of food and oil have actually soared. In response to all of these, particularly during COVID-19, government together with the social partners decided that we needed to have an economic reconstruction and recovery plan to make sure that we can map up how we will come out of this challenge. Agriculture has been identified as one of those sectors of the economy that can help our country to grow, but also contribute to the economy and also address the challenge of unemployment. In response to this, as a department working with the provincial departments of agriculture and our MECs, we decided to actually work together with our farmers organization, with our agribusiness industries, agricultural researchers, and many others to map out a long-term view on where agriculture can be in the next few years. This year in May, we adopted the Agriculture Agro-Processing Master Plan, which seeks to develop an inclusive agricultural sector that can actually provide food security both at household and at national level, while at the same time remains competitive to be able to trade and bring necessary income for our country. We've also supported subsistence farmers with input vouchers in order to ensure that household food production continues to happen. We assisted smallholder farmers with vouchers, particularly during COVID-19, to make sure that they continue with their operations. We have realized that partnerships are nurtured and we all have to commit to grow. Therefore, our presence here today, Mpumalanga, is not just coming as a visitor, or rather to congratulate what is happening. We are coming because we've got a vested interest. We've got a vested interest because what Sasol and its partners are doing shows that we are having a foresight of the future of this sector and also of the country. A number of us would agree that majority of our farmers today are actually on 5th floor and 6th floor going forward. I'm putting it nicely. You know, master 5th floor, soon of 50, half a century. So, Sasila Ponji, and Mosu 60, and Sapat 70, Usupila and bonus kati. But what is exciting with this program is that we are looking at this future and saying, how do we make sure that we start to build a cohort of our farmers that are going to provide food security for the nation in the future. Bridge to Work program for us is an intervention which Sasol and its partners have started to make sure that we can actually address issues of unemployment in this locality. And what I like, Mpumalanga, is in your intervention when you indicated that part of this work, as we respond to the immediate, we're also looking into the future where we transit from the way in which we produce energy and respond to climate change. And therefore, I would like to congratulate you, particularly on the approach that you have undertaken. You could have easily given these young people pieces of land and say, voila, you can go. But you realize that in order for them to be empowered, they need to be given necessary skills which they can actually utilize in these enterprises. But more so, you appreciated that they would need a startup capital. It might not be financial, but the mechanization and the tools that we are given is a necessary, starter pack. I always say to the financial institutions, we need patient finance in agriculture. We need financial institutions that understand that some of us don't have, inheritance that can enable us to have collateral at a go. As we come out of school and go to this enterprise, if this young person goes to a bank and asks for finance, they will ask for collateral. So these are some of the conversations that we have to have. We need to have rather. And I would ask that maybe Sasol work with us in that journey of agricultural finance. Because through practice, you have actually seen what it requires to actually build a farm. And maybe if the voices come from the private sector, who are our partners, the banks will be much more patient with their money. But also, what we see today is a corporate citizen who is Sasol that is in touch with its communities. It is a corporate citizen that seeks to address the challenges that their neighboring community faces. But also it is a corporate citizen that has a soul, that understands that they cannot be prosperous in the midst of poverty. The Bridge to Work program for us is a living example of the partnership that can show success. By mobilizing other agencies as well as Ubukhosi is an indication that there is value in partnership. And that is why we're here, not only to lend a hand, but also to say we will start a conversation with you of how we can scale up. I want to turn to the graduates. Bakon. To you graduates, I want to say congratulations first. But I also want to say to you today, we are commencing a new journey. A journey that has got a potential to change your lives for the better. if you have got passion, if you have got commitment, and if you can work hard. The fact that you have been given a certificate, you have been given knowledge by Buse Academy, does not make you automatically a farmer. It is what you will do to ensure that indeed you become a farmer and you can produce. But it will also require a bit of sacrifice. Waking up early, not lazing around. But also remember, plants and animals don't go clubbing. They don't go for a drive. So while we play hard, we must remember that we actually, in terms of ratio, 70% work, 30% play. One of the issues that I would like to also ask you to reflect on. I know in the journey of life, sometimes we want good things to come quicker. They do not. In isiZulu they say akuvelwa kanye kanye ngemahlebe mpomo. When you see some of your friends driving Porsche cars, BMWs, Vrupa, you know, and you are driving a buggy, a long base, you must understand that their enterprises are not the same as yours. Where now you are a job creator, you are not employed. So you have to make money. Yes. You don't earn a salary from somebody else. I also want to give you maybe a third lesson. Agriculture operates in what we would call a harsh and a risky environment. You know, today I woke up in Pretoria, it was warm. You saw when Kogeti Cheseli light. I arrived here, people had coats. So the climate was different. And it might be even colder. And then your nice vegetable died. No one has told you you wake up today, it rains, and you say, wow, it's a blessing, thank you. It rains the next day you start saying, I'm money. It rains the other day and say, and you lose your million you've put on the ground. Agriculture is not like the stock exchange. You know, when people play stock exchange in Nasdaq, this morning, the yen in eating, you can change your place. What is the politics? Likelihood the dollar will go this way. We operate on a God-given Nasdaq. Mega decided today you have the locust. Yeah. So those are some of the realities. So I always say, if you want to be a farmer, you must have faith. I won't say Christian or Muslim, but to call. Ngashe shube shaken. Utukhala ngelinye ihlo uvuke kusasiyolima. Yabona ke ngesizulu kuthiwa ithemba libulala. Liyaphilisa. You live in that faith and that hope that tomorrow it's going to be better. But I also want to say there's a lot of expectation in this industry that we are in. Because all of us here, we've got mouths every day we want to eat. So we rely on you to be able to produce. Sfuni price, sfuni nyama. We don't want those animals to have brucellosis and foot and mouth. We want them healthy because they are trying to cover matang. So how you look after that animal in a plastic is very important. How you actually inoculate that animal at the time so that it does not have diseases becomes important. So these people, your family, your neighbors, South Africans, look up to you and say, Sizodlani. So you must remember that when you are in this industry, it's not only about yourself, but you must also think that what you do has a direct impact on your society. I also want to say the other lesson that you will learn is that actually the certificate that you have got today is like a certificate as a crash. That's what we are today. Because a lot of knowledge you will gain in